Hello and welcome to Walker Tea Review, where I'm providing information so that you can understand teas and choose the tea that best is suited for, for meals, for that time alone, for having tea at the office, just for any time that you just want to slow down or you crave a nice, good cup of tea. Information is very important, and the information provided that as we actually prepare the tea and taste that tea provides a wealth of information. So let's go ahead and get into a tea and find out all we can about it. This is a green tea that we have with us today as our guest, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Chinese style, as usual, a Chinese style tea, a Chinese style preparation method. I'm going to use my hands and reach in and grab out some of these curly, kind of wiry looking leaves, and we'll be talking about what kind this are. And I'm going to scoop out enough so that it covers the bottom of my bowl. If the bottom of this bowl, it's not completely flat, but if it were, I would want to cover that area that is 2 inches or so in width, so that really gets the bottom area of that. That's nice and covered. I don't see the bottom because of the leaves. I'm going to add my water that's been brought to a boil. Electric kettles, by the way, are very useful. Especially useful the kind that is especially useful would be the kind that actually allows you to adjust the temperature. Otherwise, you kind of train your ear and get a feel for when the bubble of the appearance or the sound, the rumble in there is about the right kind of temperature that you want, the amount of heat there. Now, I have enough water that actually rose above the lid, creating a seal, which is good. As it cools, there's a lot of heat building up and expanding. As it cools, that will start to kind of draw back in. So that is good for now. I'm going to gently move that over. And you'll notice some rattling going on because that heat is building up in the dome area of this lid and pushing it around, and it's that trapped air is trying to escape. So we'll let that do its work as we talk a little bit about this tea. This is a MaoJian. Okay, this is from Canton Tea Company. I should go back and say Canton Tea Company. This is their MaoJian, a Chinese style tea. MaoJians come from various places. Different areas were known for MaoJians. Henan province, I believe, has a Xinyang MaoJian, but this particular tea is from Daming Mountain in Guangxi province of China. Canton is a great company because, like several others that I've looked at here, they provide a lot of information about the source of their teas, where it comes from, when it was harvested. That is valuable information. You do not want, generally for green teas, you do not want to have last season's tea. Just not, unless it's been stored very well, it's going to have some age, it's going to be a little duller in its color, it's going to be a little drabber in its flavor. So, a 10 gram sample, like this one, is available for $1.58. This is a UK company, so there could be actually their shipping costs are still very competitive with US-based companies, but depending on the shipping method that is used, that you choose, there could be a day, perhaps more, day or two more of shipping involved, shipping time. Okay, harvest time was April of 2010, so this is a tea from this spring. And so that gives us our introduction. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this tea. We're going to go explore the dry leaf first, the elements of it. First off, aromas coming off. They are sweet. There's something kind of spinachy about this, cream spinach going on. Combined with, there's something that is not corn, but the corn husk. If you've ever peeled away, shucked a fresh ear of corn, there's something in that husk that the wrapping of the corn, the natural wrapping there. It's not corn smell. And some people would say it's grassy, which I guess is a legitimate point because a corn is a kind of cultivated grass. It's a similar grass type family, but this is specific. There's that corn husk kind of smell coming off of your fresh green corn husk. So that's nice. That's sweet. It's well, not herby, but very vegetal in that aspect. Looking at these leaves, compared to other MaoJians, some of them are, very fine, very small leaves. These leaves are a little bit larger, but they are still a rich green, kind of a deeper green, not so much bluish green, but almost just a tinge of green, a green with a tinge of light gray, okay? But they do still have a deep, vibrant color. They have still some needles, so you've got some kind of silvery needles, and these are good size needles as well. I mean, this one is, half an inch or so. So you've got healthy looking leaves here, larger size, as we said, compared to, say, a Xinjiang MaoJian. MaoJian can be translated something like fuzzy tip, fuzzy spear, fuzzy point. Okay, not to be confused with a Maofeng. Feng, usually Maofeng, fuzzy, furry peak, is often related to a mountain. Okay. Now let's go ahead and talk about this wet leaf. My liquor, as we said, is receded back into the cup. I'm going to break that seal. I'm going to push the leaves over to the side because we've had enough time now to let that steep and let some of that heat escape for just a second so that it becomes, the rim here becomes a little more easy to handle. Push my leaves aside, and I leave enough gap so that most of the leaves will not escape through that. My middle finger and thumb hold the very tip of the edge, the rim here. My index finger holds the lid. I'm going to pour as quickly as possible to escape, avoid any heat scalding my fingertips. Getting those last few drops, usually the strongest, as I've said before. Okay. Now, already nice smell, aromas coming off of this, but let's get a nice good whiff from under the cut lid here. These are smells that I associate with a kind of basket firing. There's a style, traditionally there were bamboo baskets, there are other methods now that simulate that kind of feel. Heat, warm air rises up through a kind of a woven, loose type of bamboo, grass type of netting or fibers. So it allows the heat to get in there and just kind of continue to escape up above, and gives it these toasted or roasted green bean, kind of lima bean. This one actually has a stronger lima bean note, boiled lima bean type of smell, combined still with some spinach notes, sweet, creamy, heavy type of spinach notes. So those are positive. Cream spinach in particular. Okay, but let's look at some of these leaves. Nice, good sized leaves, as we said. Fully unfurling here. Well, this one actually gently, if you're gentle with it, it will fully unfurl. Otherwise, that's a positive note to say, a second steeping is going to unfurl these naturally or more gently in the water, and so there's still some flavor locked in, waiting for that second steep. That's a positive. Okay, this is a good sized leaf. That's a good 2 inches or so. I'm going to pull out some leaf. Okay, here's a tip with the actual needle bud still on there. Okay, looking for sets, more needles. Here's a separate individual needle. Bright green, yellow-green type colors here. Okay, I'm digging and I'm digging, and I'm just still nothing, no leaf, bud sets are really jumping out at me. Okay, so some nice tightly curled leaves. I'm going to add that one just to show this is a nice good leaf. Still hasn't unfurled. Lots of potential locked up in there as well. Okay, nice. Oh, that's a very large needle bud, so I'm going to add that there as well. Okay, so heavy, potent aromas, good vibrant color of the leaf. Actually quite a lot of needles in there as well. So when we go to our liquor, first thing that really hits me, this is a cloudy color. This is a cloudy liquor. I mean, this is the kind of cloud I see when I get a gyokuro, a Japanese steamed green. There's just so much of the downy component floating around in here. It is a pale yellowish in color. Okay, yellow green. I'll step back on that. I'll qualify that statement a little bit. Aromas are light, gentle, lightly sweet, almost a little bit of a sweet nutty, almost like a unsalted cashew type note coming off. Let's give it a taste. Now, a green like this is going to be more astringent than, say, some of your oolongs, your higher, like Taiwanese high mountain oolong. It's going to be more astringent than, say, well, MaoJians in general are more astringent than some of your more other delicate green teas. For example, a Longjing. I generally find that MaoJians have more astringency than, say, a Dragon Well tea. This one that's true of this one as well. The dominant flavor, aroma component is still a boiled green bean. On the back, that tempers a little bit. You get a kind of snow pea, kind of lightly starchy, fibrous kind of taste and feel in the mouth. Again, but sweet. It has its vegetable sweetness component there, so that's why I would choose something like snow pea, combined with a little bit of water chestnut, so you do get a little bit of a kind of a nutty, starchy sweetness in there that we talked about. Light broth. Well, medium broth. I would say this is kind of a chicken broth type of texture. It gives a kind of a fuzzy type of coating on the tongue, especially on the front quarter of your tongue. It gives this kind of my tongue has a terry cloth bath robe on it right now. That's the kind of feel I'm getting here. So when I look at this tea as a whole, first off, score. I'm going to give this tea, it's got potential. It has redeeming qualities. I'm going to give this tea an 88. It has some good flavor components to it. It has a decent brothiness to it. The astringency level, I would say, is higher than some of the others that I've tasted. It didn't have that as much of the sweetness. It had a starchy sweetness that didn't really round out some of the creamy spinach type sweetness that come with some MaoJians. Okay, so definitely a tea to admire. I mean, it has its charms, it has things worth appreciating, but as I said, Canton tea, great about sharing information about their tea so that you know more about what you're getting. And that's one of our goals here at Walker Tea Review, knowing what you're getting. So come back and learn more about the teas that you have to choose from.